For the past couple of years, I have investigated how we can bring teachers into the process of designing and redesigning digital teaching materials. Since spring 2020, the situation has changed a lot. What we see now is hybrid learning spaces where the teachers need to navigate with their students in new ways and new forms. The pandemic has provided a unique insight into how educators collaborate in transforming the learning designs from a dominating face-to-face mode of teaching and into something more useful to suit the new conditions. Teachers mix formal and informal formats, and digital and analog technologies are used in that purpose. In my opinion, we have become more pragmatic in relation to the frameworks within which learning takes place. All in all, this has been a challenging development, but it gives us a chance to see into what teaching might be like in the near future. My name is Morten Bülow, and I've been a high school teacher for more than 20 years. In the same period, I have been developing lots of digital materials of different kinds. Right now, I'm working on a project in the Danish School of Education, where we're trying to figure out how we can redevelop and redesign teaching materials for youth education. From a teacher's perspective, the most visible change might have been the shift towards hybridization of education and of our lives. We share co-working spaces with colleagues and family. We bring our classes into our homes and ourselves into the students' homes. We are, so to speak, at home and in class at the same time, and the same counts for the student. The context has transformed, and the resources that the students bring into the learning space have altered too.
The motivation definitely fell a lot in the first months, and then it obviously got better because the teachers learned a lot of new tools in online learning, so it definitely became better. And I also think there's definitely some kind of future in online education, because there are some really good tools.
The teachers are actually doing it really well. I admire the work that the teachers do. The software, it's lacking some parts, but I think we've come a long way with the software from the beginning of the virus and the lockdown. There have been a lot of upgrades to the software, but still not the same as being physically in a classroom.
It is evident that the spaces where we teach and learn are changing. Technology is both enhancing and invading the learning experiences. I suggest a focus on the hybridity that will highlight both the challenges and the opportunities in loosening up the boundaries between context of learning, working, playing and living. Hybrid learning spaces open opportunities and pose challenges to designers of learning experiences. I will therefore suggest 3 new design principles to guide us in making even better digital materials for all learners. First, we see a growing interest in the promises of learning analytics, artificial intelligence, and educational data mining. New design principles should include the recognition of the valuable intersection between data and educational design. Secondly, students and teachers are not offered the facilities that would make it possible for them to reconfigure or just adjust the teaching materials to the student's zone of proximal development. Design principles should therefore incorporate a technology that could support us in recapturing the legitimacy and the credibility we have, to a certain degree, lost in the process of hybridization. Thirdly, I have found that teaching materials seldom support transfer of learning. I have also found that students actively redesign and co-configure their learning activities when they try to handle the demands they meet in educational settings. These strategies are often what you would call minimax strategies, where students focus on meeting requirements, not on actual learning. Design principles should therefore support transfer of knowledge from the formal teaching to other contexts. We could redesign exercises and textbooks and make the teaching materials more exploratory, more useful and more engaging. In other words, technology cannot in itself improve learning. Not even Belmer Prize winning learning materials do the trick. My central argument is that a greater awareness of students' resource ecologies and the importance of understanding the teachers' learning designs in hybrid learning settings will clarify a need to rethink the way we develop better digital teaching materials.